All right, let's talk about something serious, emotional damage. No, not from lag, not from that one boss fight that made you question your skills, but from story-driven games so good they hit harder than your mom's Wi-Fi bill. These aren't just games, they're cinematic experiences, fever dreams of genius writing, and in some cases, straight-up therapy sessions in disguise. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll probably stare at your screen in stunned silence while the credits roll. If you've ever wanted a game to wreck your emotions, change your perspective on life, and make you reconsider every decision you've ever made, you've come to the right place. So, grab your snacks, take a deep breath, and let's dive into 15 story-driven masterpieces every gamer must experience. Let's kick things off with Heavy Rain, the game that turns you into a detective, a dad, and a human stress ball all at once. You start off living the suburban dream, but bam! Your kid disappears faster than your motivation on a Monday morning. Suddenly, you're knee-deep in a psychological thriller where every decision you make could mean life or death. And let's not forget the legendary Jason button, which lets you scream your son's name into the void like an absolute lunatic. The game forces you to solve the mystery of the origami killer while making choices so intense you'll be questioning your own morality. Want to chop off your finger, drink poison, accuse the wrong person, and ruin lives? This game is like an emotional roller coaster designed by a sadistic theme park owner. And just when you think you're doing great, boom, plot twist. By the end, you'll either be a hero, a failure, or just really, really traumatized. Either way, Heavy Rain proves that sometimes the real horror isn't serial killers, it's parenting. What Remains of Edith Finch is basically the gaming equivalent of listening to a sad indie playlist while staring out of a rainy window. You play as Edith Finch, the last surviving member of a family that makes the Lannisters look lucky. You explore a giant, weirdly constructed house filled with the tragic tales of your cursed relatives, and every story hits harder than your Wi-Fi bill after streaming in 4K for a month. One minute you're a kid pretending to be a monster, the next you're slicing fish at a cannery while slowly losing your grip on reality, just like me when I realize I forgot to save my progress. The game is packed with surreal storytelling moments that will have you saying, "Wow, that was beautiful," followed immediately by, "Wait, what the heck just happened?" It's emotional, weird, and guaranteed to make you rethink your own family tree. Plus, it's a short game so you can finish it before your pizza delivery arrives, if you don't spend too much time just staring at the incredible visuals and sobbing.
And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look.
Quantic Dream strikes again with another Your Choices Matter game where, let's be honest, your choices will mostly result in accidental chaos. Detroit. Become Human is basically what happens when Alexa, Siri, and ChatGPT gain self-awareness and decide they're tired of being bossed around. You play as 3 androids: Connor, a robotic Sherlock Holmes with social skills as stiff as his plastic hair; Kara, a motherly android trying to keep a kid alive, good luck with that; and Marcus, a freedom fighter who may or may not accidentally start a full-scale android rebellion depending on how reckless you are. The game constantly throws life-altering choices at you, and just like real life, you will 100% make the wrong one under pressure. Do you lead a peaceful revolution? Do you start throwing Molotov cocktails? Do you accidentally let Connor die 75 times? It's all up to you. The game will make you question humanity, morality, and why Detroit is always the go-to setting for dystopian futures. It's emotional, thought-provoking, and absolutely hilarious when you mess up a conversation so badly that an android just shuts down from secondhand embarrassment.
I know you and Emma were very close. You think she betrayed you, but she's done nothing wrong. She lied to me! I thought she loved me. But I was wrong. just like all the other humans.
Daniel, no!
He's losing blood. If we don't get him to a hospital, he's going to die. All humans die eventually. What does it matter if this one dies now?
If you've ever wanted to rewind time just to unsend that embarrassing text at 3 a.m., then congrats, you already relate to Life is Strange. This game throws you into the life of Max Caulfield, a high school student who discovers she can rewind time, which sounds cool until you realize every decision you make still somehow leads to disaster. It's like trying to fix a typo but making the whole sentence worse. Max teams up with her rebellious best friend Chloe, and together they try to solve the mystery of a missing girl while also dealing with school, teenage angst, and a massive incoming tornado. You know, casual high school problems. The game is packed with deep emotional moments, but let's be real. Half the time, you'll just be rewinding conversations to see what happens when you choose the rudest dialogue option. The dialogue is so hilariously teenager trying too hard to be edgy that it hurts, but somehow it still hits you right in the feels. Get ready to cry, cringe, and wonder why high school drama is so much more intense when you throw time travel into the mix.
If I wanted, I could blow it up. You're the boss. So what do you want?
I hope you checked the perimeter, as my step-ass would say. Now, let's talk business.
I got nothing for you.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
That's my family, not me.
Oh, boo-hoo, poor little rich kid. I know you've been pumping drugs and shit to kids around here. I bet your respectable family would help me out if I went to them. Man, I can see the headlines now.
Leave them out of this bitch.
I can tell everybody Nathan Prescott is a punk-ass who begs like a little girl and talks to himself.
You don't know who the fuck I am or who you're messing around with.
Where'd you get that? What are you doing? Come on, put that thing down!
Don't ever tell me what to do. I'm so sick of people trying to control me!
You are going to get in hella more trouble for this than drugs.
Nobody would ever even miss your punk ass, would they?
Get that gun away from me, psycho! No!
Silent Hill 2, the game that made us all afraid of fog, creepy nurses, and our own repressed emotions. Now with the remake, we get to relive the trauma in glorious next-gen graphics. You play as James Sunderland, a man who receives a letter from his supposedly dead wife inviting him to Silent Hill. Now if I got a message from my dead ex, my first thought wouldn't be, better go check it out. But James? He's built different. The town of Silent Hill is basically a welcome home party thrown by your worst nightmares, filled with monsters that represent James's deep-seated guilt. Seriously, this man needs therapy, not a fog-covered vacation. And of course, we can't forget the legendary Pyramid Head, a creature so terrifying it makes you question every life choice that led you here. Silent Hill 2 isn't just a horror game, it's an existential crisis with jump scares. The remake promises even more detail in James's suffering, which means more reasons for you to turn off your console and sleep with the lights on. Ghost of Tsushima is what happens when you mix a breathtaking open-world samurai sword fights and a protagonist who has the emotional range of a guy who just lost his entire family and country. Oh wait, you play as Jin Sakai, a samurai who's forced to abandon the noble honor code because, spoiler alert, Mongols don't play fair. So instead of politely dueling enemies, you start ghosting them like bad Tinder dates, sneaking around, poisoning their food, and dropping smoke bombs like a ninja with trust issues. The game is an absolute stunner, with rolling fields, beautiful sunsets, and foxes you can actually pet, which is obviously the most important feature. The combat is so smooth it'll make you feel like a samurai god, until you realize you've just been smacking a tree for 5 minutes because the enemy dodged. Whether you're dueling legendary warriors or writing haikus about your tragic life, one thing's for sure, this game is peak I am the storm energy. Also, did I mention you can bow at enemies after you kill them? Total power move.
Sergeant! Ready?
Days Gone is proof that the zombie apocalypse isn't just about survival. It's also about looking ridiculously cool on a motorcycle. You play as Deacon St. John, a biker with a tragic backstory, a leather jacket, and the worst luck imaginable. He spends most of the game brooding, talking to himself, and absolutely refusing to believe his wife is dead. Because in video game logic, no body is no proof. The game's world is filled with freakers, basically zombies on steroids. And let me tell you, when a horde of 300 of them start sprinting at you like they just heard there's a PS5 restock, it's pure terror. You'll spend hours crafting explosives, fixing your bike, and trying to convince yourself that Deacon's constant muttering isn't making you lose your own mind. But despite the bugs, the open world jank, and Deacon having the emotional stability of a shaken soda can, the story is surprisingly heartfelt. By the time the credits roll, you'll realize that under all the biker bravado, this game is basically The Notebook, but with more shotguns and way less kissing.
Damn it, sir. Go. Get your old lady.
Kratos went from angry muscle man who yells a lot to angry muscle dad who yells a lot less, and honestly, character development. In God of War 2018, Kratos trades in his rage-fueled god-killing rampages for, well, slightly more controlled rage-fueled fatherhood. He and his son, Atreus, aka Boy, go on a wholesome yet terrifying road trip to scatter his wife's ashes, because apparently nothing says quality bonding time like fighting Norse gods and getting insulted by talking heads. The game's combat is ridiculously satisfying. Throwing the Leviathan axe and recalling it makes you feel like Thor, but better. The story hits you right in the feels, especially when Kratos awkwardly tries to be a good dad but ends up sounding like a grumpy gym coach. And let's be real, the real challenge of this game isn't fighting Baldur, it's getting Kratos to show basic human emotions. But by the end, when he actually puts a gentle hand on Atreus' shoulder, you'll tear up like a proud parent watching their kid ride a bike for the first time. Absolute masterpiece.
Get control of yourself, boy.
Fine! Kill it! Watch out!
If you thought horror games were scary, try playing one where the real monster is your own mind. Hellblade. Senua's sacrifice takes you on a psychological roller coaster as you step into the battle-scarred boots of Senua, a Celtic warrior with severe psychosis who's trying to bring her dead lover back from hell. The game basically whispers in your ear the entire time, making you feel like you forgot to turn off a creepy ASMR podcast. Combat, brutal. Story, hauntingly beautiful. Graphics, so good you'll wonder if your TV is actually a portal to Viking hell. But the real star here is the sound design. Play with headphones and you'll start questioning if the voices you're hearing are in the game or in your own head. The game doesn't hold your hand, doesn't have waypoints, and basically throws you into the deep end of the what the hell is going on pool. It's a short but powerful experience that will leave you emotionally wrecked and possibly afraid of shadows for a week. But hey, at least you'll look cool while doing it.
End it now.
Imagine a world where humanity is extinct, robot dinosaurs rule the earth, and your main survival tool is a bow and arrow, because apparently technology peaked at stick with string. Horizon Zero Dawn throws you into the post-apocalyptic world of Aloy, a badass red-headed warrior raised by a grumpy old man in the mountains. Aloy spends most of the game uncovering ancient secrets, shooting robot T-Rexes in the face, and wondering why every NPC she meets treats her like she just walked out of a cult. The combat is insanely fun, tripping giant machines, setting traps, and watching a mechanical bird explode in slow motion never gets old. And let's talk about the story. It starts off as cool tribal adventure and quickly spirals into, oh wow, humanity really messed up this time. By the end, you're knee-deep in conspiracy theories, AI gone rogue, and the realization that Jeff Bezos probably would have loved this world. Whether you're here for the robo-dinos or the deep lore, one thing's for sure, Aloy deserves a vacation, and so do you after this emotional roller coaster. Alan Wake 2 is what happens when a best-selling writer spends too much time in the dark, both metaphorically and literally. After being trapped in a supernatural nightmare for over a decade, Alan finally escapes, only to realize that his biggest enemy isn't the horrifying creatures lurking in the shadows, it's writer's block. The game is part horror, part psychological thriller, and 100%, am I losing my mind or is this game actually breaking the fourth wall? You switch between Alan and FBI agent Saga Anderson, who's just trying to do her job while unknowingly stepping into the weirdest Stephen King novel ever. Combat is all about using light, because apparently the ultimate weapon against evil is a really strong flashlight. Take that, Doomslayer. By the time the credits roll, you'll be questioning reality, debating whether your own life is just part of a bigger story, and double-checking that your living room lights are still working. If you love eerie vibes, mind-bending storytelling, and drinking 40 cups of coffee like Alan does, this one's for you. Nathan Drake is back, and this time he's not just dodging bullets, he's also dodging the responsibilities of being a retired treasure hunter. Uncharted 4 kicks off with Nate trying to live a peaceful suburban life, complete with a 9-to-5 job and actual dinner dates with his wife. But of course, his long-lost brother shows up and says, "Hey, want to risk your life for some ancient treasure?" And Nate, like any rational person, immediately says yes. What follows is a globe-trotting adventure filled with jaw-dropping set pieces, ridiculous action sequences, and Nate making death-defying leaps like his bones are made of rubber. The banter is top tier, the story is emotional, and the climbing, oh, the climbing. You'll spend 50% of the game asking yourself, how are this man's fingers still attached? If you love action movies but wish they lasted 20 hours, this game is a must-play. Also, Sully is the true MVP. Give that man his own spin-off already.
Oh, crap! Coming through!
If you ever thought, wow, I love video games, but I wish one would emotionally destroy me, then The Last of Us is your perfect nightmare. The game starts with a gut punch and never really lets up as you play grumpy dad Joel, who's seen too much, and Ellie, a foul-mouthed teenager who could probably win a fight against an entire biker gang. Together, they travel across post-apocalyptic America, fighting off zombies, infected, but come on, they're zombies, and dealing with humans who somehow manage to be even worse. The storytelling is so strong, you'll start thinking of Joel and Ellie as real people and possibly cry over them at random moments in your actual life. Combat is brutal, stealth is nerve-wracking, and every bullet feels like it's made of gold because they're that rare. But it's the quiet moments that hit hardest. Giraffes, bad puns, and the simple act of hope in a world gone mad. Just be warned, once you finish this game, nothing else will hit quite the same. Next, we have The Witcher 3, the game that takes open-world RPG and cranks it up to, I will never finish this because there's too much to do. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a professional monster hunter with 2 swords, magical powers, and the emotional range of a very tired dad. The main story is about finding his adopted daughter while dealing with an incoming apocalyptic force called the Wild Hunt. But let's be real, most of your time will be spent playing Gwent, getting distracted by side quests that are somehow better than the main plot, and trying to decide which sorceress you want to romance. Yen versus Triss is a war that will never end. The world is massive, the writing is phenomenal, and Roach, your trusty horse, will continue to teleport onto rooftops at the worst possible moments. Whether you're hunting down terrifying creatures or just watching Geralt take a well-earned bath, you know the one, this game is a masterpiece. Just be prepared to lose a few hundred hours of your life.
Help me! Help!
If video games had a Best Actor award, Arthur Morgan would win it every single year. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just a game. It's an emotional journey into the Wild West, where you'll spend more time grooming your horse than yourself. Arthur starts off as an outlaw loyal to Dutch van der Linde's gang, but as things go south, and oh boy do they go south, you'll find yourself questioning everything. The story is filled with betrayals, heartbreak, and some of the best character development in gaming history. And let's not forget the details. This game is so immersive, your horse's testicles shrink in cold weather. Why did Rockstar program this? Who knows, but we respect it. The world is alive, the gunfights are epic, and the emotional weight of Arthur's journey will hit you like a runaway train. Whether you're robbing trains, getting into bar fights, or just staring at a beautiful sunset, this game is an absolute masterpiece. And if you don't cry during the final act, check your pulse. You might be dead inside.
You're alive. You're coming with me.
And there you have it. 15 story-driven masterpieces that have probably ruined our emotions, but in the best possible way. So, which of these emotional roller coasters wrecked you the most? Or did we miss a masterpiece that left you curled up in a corner questioning life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because just like a great game, you never know when the next emotional gut punch is coming. Until next time, may your save files never corrupt.